LeVette, let me ask you where we are on the police pay raise. What's on the agenda for tomorrow's meeting?
Okay, tomorrow's meeting is an introduction of a resolution that came from the Public Safety Committee. It's a two-reader. We're introducing it tomorrow, and then it will be voted on in 2 weeks. Right now, it looks like it has the 4% presentation that was proposed by the chief, by Chief Raymond, and the 4% that was presented by Chief Wolverton. Those things are continued to become 6% when you add the 2% longevity that they would be getting anyway by statute for fire, and because we do it additionally for police to try to maintain parity. I'm long-winded. Tell me what I need to say next.
Where is your proposal that would have boosted police pay 17%? What's the status of that?
It is tabled, and I will leave it on the table for as long as it takes, or as long as I need to leave it on the table. Let me remind you, the 17% at the bottom level, and then what it is 49 funded vacancies would go away and become that raise. So we'd be using existing funds. There's been some discussion about that money not being there, and this is what I'd like for your listeners to think about.
Okay.
If we fund all of these if we fund all these positions, and we hire up all these positions, we have to continue to pay all of those police officers plus the 2% longevity for as long as they are there.
Okay.
If you're saying that that money is not there for the raise, that means those are not real vacancies and they are monopoly money. That is what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. Either they are real positions and we can use that money how we need to use it in order to fund our department, or they are not real positions and the money is just being put there for padding as needed. Now, the other part of that is, if we're saying that having those positions is a needed thing in order to fight crime, I can completely hear that, except for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have an attrition rate of 3 per month. That's 36 officers we're losing to retirement, but mostly resignations. And not just 3 to 5 year officers. We're losing 10-year officers to other departments, other municipalities. We are below the regional average. We lose people to Bossier. We lose people to East Texas. This is a problem. We cannot continue to run our department like this because the pay is too low.
So you're saying essentially we're losing so many that we can't even get back to where we are now, much less get to those 49 additional that you're going to use the money for the raise.
Correct. And the thing is, it's mathematically impossible to do it.
Okay.
3-4 years out, we still wouldn't be able to do it, and we're going to continue to lose officers as long as the pay is too low.
All right.
Now, this 4% raise, the 4% that they're proposing gives you the 4% across the board with 10% in between each rank. That is what was described at Public Safety. That takes 31 positions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a compromise measure that should be added as an amendment, but it is based on the SPOA legislation and fee structure that was paid for by SPOA and created by Mark Listella, who is a chief of fire. He's one of the fire chiefs, and he's basically an actuary. The man is a mathematical crazy person, okay?
All right.
So what he has done is created a full structure that does more with the same amounts of money. That's the thing about the 49 positions. He has taken just about the same amount of money as the chief plan, put more to the bottom end, and uses the same structure as my plan, but 33 officers.
Here's an issue.
Hold on, 13% raise on the bottom end.
Here's an issue that I have. Here's an issue that I have and others have, that your proposal does not include the fire department.
Listen, my proposal is on the table. Here's the deal. If the fire department can say, do this plan and we'll have our plan on the legislation plan on for the next week. Or if fire said, Here's our plan. Take yours off the table the same day. We can vote on them together. How is that a problem?
Well,
It's
my
not a
my
problem.
issue would
So
be
listen, Aaron.
okay.
Hold on. If you also have an opportunity to take my original structure, reduce it by 30%, and use about the same money as the police chief's plan on the same resolution we're looking at right now that came from public safety, is that a problem?
No, but should police and firefighters get the same amount?
So
should they get the same percentage raise? Do you believe that police and firefighters should get the same percentage increase?
I think that what this comes down to right now is we want parity. Sure, we want parity. The issue is, where is the money coming from? And right now, the amount that police is willing to do is a little different than what fire is doing. I want to make sure this is clear.
Gotcha.
This is not a time to condemn me for my plan. We have another plan on the table right now that we can vote on up or down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to cry in a corner if we never actually look at my plan, if what we have is satisfactory to police and fire. But the other part of this, if you don't take the second plan that's basically based on mine, let's go back to this. You can reduce my plan by 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Use 33 positions, okay? Just stay with me for a minute.
Okay.
33 positions. It's a 13% raise on the bottom end. It creates more money on the bottom end, officers, corporals, and sergeants, rather than like making it across the board to the top end, the people that are close to retirement and making more money anyway. So that's part of it, right? Okay, let's do that. But the thing is, the fire raise is being created out of a different structure. They're not using positions per se as much as some of the revenue that they generate from EMS. I've been told that I sound angry. I'm not angry. I'm just not caffeinated. I want to make sure I get all this in.
Let me ask you: Are you voting? Are you voting for the 4% or no?
Let me say this. Let
me say this means I'm not going to answer.
No, that's not what it means. It means I've got a longer answer for you.
Okay.
Man, I thought we'd do better without Robert here to keep interrupting the two of us. We're doing so good. Okay, here's the deal. All right. The 4%, that is just the 4% across the board. It's contingent upon coming back later, because we're still going to be losing officers. It is crumbs. It does not do what we needed to do to get the officers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is contingent upon us kicking a can down the road and expecting to be able to raise taxes, either property taxes or more likely a 1/4-cent sales tax. I am completely against that. I cannot abide pretending to give a little raise now to do a bigger raise later when I cannot guarantee that we can even get it on a ballot. And that if we get it on a ballot, that people are actually going to vote for it. Because you know what it looks like to me, Aaron? Punishing the people that are still here. A 1/4-cent sales tax might not mean much on the top end as far as shopping. And you might be saying, well, it won't just be people that live in Shreveport. If you work here and live in Stonewall, you might buy your groceries on the way home. I guarantee you'll stop buying them in Shreveport. You might live in Benton and buy your groceries on the way home from Shreveport. I guarantee you'll stop buying your groceries in Shreveport. A 1/4-cent sales tax on that end might not seem very much, but we've been told time and time again that 60% of people in Shreveport are at or below poverty. It's going to mean a whole lot to them. And ultimately, we're punishing people for trying to stay on a diminishing tax base.
Our last minute, we're running up against the clock here.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. One more thing. Make this one, I know, I wish you were. Make this one quick if you can. Isn't giving some kind of raise better than nothing?
If you can do more with the same amount of money, heck yeah. But if it's contingent upon having to come back and do taxes, raise taxes on people, you're not really doing anything. You're not solving the problem.
Gotcha. Councilwoman LeVette Fuller, thanks for being honest and candid with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I didn't mean to sound angry. I love you. Bye.
Bye.